Hey, me, Matt here. So, if you, I guess, watched Raw, which honestly, last week and this week, so far anyway, seemed like really good episodes, and I think that Raw was good in a way that you saw some matches that were good. They weren't half-assed or really wasn't any disqualifications, which I think was awesome. But I mean, you still had a setup from the Extreme Rules with Charlotte Flair and Alexa Bliss. It was a match between Nikki Cross and Natalia, and of course, Rhea Ripley taking on Tamina. I think that's how that went. But anyways, it doesn't matter. One thing that really bothers me, because I mean, it doesn't really need to be that necessary, but it kind of does bother me because you have Biggie who won Money in the Bank, and I thought that was pretty fucking awesome. It really was. I really enjoyed it, and that's fine. I much rather would have had him go for the Universal title at some point. Not sure why that didn't happen, but he said on SmackDown that he was going to, I guess, go to Raw and challenge Bobby Lashley. And then he kept saying it all, and saying it, 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 and saying it during the night on Monday. And then the main event happened. You have Bobby Lashley, Randy Orton. So they come out. You have Big E coming out, and Big E stands in the middle, and you have Bobby and Randy, and of course, the big thing in the beginning of the show where Big E was going to challenge for the title if Bobby won or fucking Randy Orton won. Okay, well, that's fine and good. Randy ended up losing, but then I guess Bobby's knee gave out, which prompted Big E to cash in. They fought for a little bit, and yeah, Big E's the new WWE champion, and it's fine for what it is. And I mean, you have to cash in at some point, but the thing that really pissed me off was that he kept saying it, he kept saying it, and he kept saying it, and he kept saying it, and he kept saying it. To the point where you go, alright, we already know he's going to be the champion on Monday. Now it doesn't seem important. When you have people win Money in the Bank, you have the surprise, you have the element of surprise. You don't know when it's going to happen, you don't know who it's going to happen on. This just felt underwhelming. It was nice to have Bobby Lashley lose to Big E. We'll see where that goes. But for Big E to basically win this match, or whatever it was, and beat Bobby Lashley for the title, you could have at least had it suspenseful. You have the NXT title, you have the Universal title, you have the WWE title. Now, obviously they're going to still go with Roman and Lesnar again. I'll get to that later. in the future when it happens. This was underwhelming. I didn't exactly necessarily hate it. It was just underwhelming because we already knew the outcome. It was basically spoiled for us on SmackDown and on Raw. So, Raw was good for what it was, though. I mean, you have basically Piper Dewdrop Niven beat Eva Marie. Now, I do enjoy the theme music. I will say that. That was awesome. The Viking Raiders and Drew McIntyre versus Jinder Mahal, Veer, and Shanky. That was a pretty cool match. And, you know, and there should be new tag team champions in the future. I know that. They had the gauntlet match, which was in the beginning of the show, and then something happened. Then it ended up that basically you have also Damian Priest, who will take on Sheamus. You know, there was a bit more of that. Oh yeah, you have Alexa Bliss in the segment with Charlotte Flair. I did talk about that a bit, but Alexa gives Charlotte a doll, and basically there's a segment where it was backstage area where Charlotte threw the doll in the trash. So we had a match with Priest and Jeff Hardy, Damian Priest obviously, and then yeah. So I mean, this was pretty good overall, and you know, you look at this too with Nikki Cross and Rhea Ripley. They're a good tag team. So I mean, that's awesome to see where that's gonna go, and hopefully they can get the women's tag team championships in the future. I think that would be pretty cool. So we'll see where that goes. But overall, Raw was a good show. Just my only nitpick was I wish they would have had that surprise of Big E cashing in without even saying anything through the night. Because that's all he did constantly. But now he's the champion. That's cool. I saw a bit of NXT because I wanted to. I know I won't get it on the WWE Network this week, but you know, it was, again, it's a good concept. I am all for somewhat change. I think the crowd during the match should have been darkened so we focus on the wrestlers in the ring. But for what it was okay. It wasn't a terrible thing, you know. We'll see when time gets on, but you know, whatever. Anyways. So yeah, Raw was good. Last week's SmackDown was good. So you know, there's nothing really terrible to say about it. WWE is starting to finally step up their game a little bit more, so that's cool. We'll see where it goes. Anyways, talk to you later.
So you know that them cutting WCW was a long time coming. But, you know, I think that there's this myth out there that Jamie Keller that's why he took pleasure in cutting WCW. I don't think that's the case at all. Because if you look at some of his earlier interviews,